When you get into sales, one of the first things that you'll hear is selling is a numbers game. And the question is that correct? And the answer is yes and no, but mostly yes. Now, before we get to the yes, we first have to go through the no. That's a common occurrence in sales. So let's go through the no first. If you're doing something that's obviously dumb, that doesn't fit, like if you're selling glasses to blind people, I mean, if you're selling toothpaste to people with no teeth, if you're selling logic classes to communists, well, you're in for a bad time. That's not going to work ever at all. Like that, it can't work. It's like literally impossible. Anything aside from impossible, like you actually need to use your brain somewhat, but any logical thinking human being could see that those examples wouldn't work, right? Now, if it's not impossible, it is a numbers game. Let me give you a simple example from early on in my real estate career. What we were taught to do is to pick a geographic area of homes. And we were basically taught, like, let's go knock on doors, let's put in flyers in there, basically tell them, hey, I'm the real estate agent in the neighborhood, I'd love to help you out. Our office was in a certain area, I picked that area because it was easy, right? I just walked outside, there were houses there, so I started doing this. And I go for like 3 months, nothing happens. Like I don't get phone calls, get a few people pissed off, this always happens, right? When you put in flyers and you start ringing doorbells, and nothing is happening. And some of my other agents, the other agents in the office, they were starting to get some results. So now I'm confused. Like, okay, I'm doing roughly the same stuff, but for me it's not happening. For them it's happening. Start looking at the differences. Turns out, in that area, very, very, very few homes are being sold in a year. So people just don't move much in that area. What I was doing was basically trying to sow seeds on an icy field. Like, that's not going to work. Maybe you get one sale a year. That's not good at all. So I switched from that area to a new area where a lot of young families lived, or either they moved out to a bigger house, or they just came in because they had a new family, had a baby or something. And all of a sudden, within the next 2 or 3 months, I started getting phone calls, I started getting listings, things started happening, transactions started happening, because I used my brain. It made sense. Like, now I'm going to the right prospects, attracting the right clients for my business, right? You have to use your brain somewhat, but you won't be making that mistake if you're watching this. We're going to go over this in some more detail. So let's get to the yes. A lot of problems in life can be solved by taking massive action. Massive action solves a lot of issues. It's the same with sales. Plenty of times people come to me saying, hey, I'm doing this outreach. I've been doing outreach for 3 weeks. Nothing is happening. And you ask them, like, okay, how many people did you reach out to? Because 3 weeks doesn't tell me anything, right? I want to know numbers. It's like, yeah, 23. Like, brother, that's like a day's work. Well, not even a day's work. You can easily do that in a couple hours. What your problem is not the prospects, not your message. We don't even know if that's the problem. What your problem is you're not doing enough. Like, you need to up the amount of people that you get in touch with. I misremembered a number of sales presentations, but especially in the beginning, I was very, very bad at sales. I'll be giving you some examples later on in the course, but I was really bad at sales, like horribly bad. I started going on sales presentations, and I think I scored 0 out of 36, which is amazing. Like, usually even a beginner would score like 1 out of 3, maybe 1 out of 4. I had 0 in 36, which is incredible. I scored my 37th one, which is a story for another time. What happened was, in those 36 sales calls, I learned all sorts of things. Like, I started figuring out, like, this doesn't work. When I say this, that doesn't work. When I do this, the prospect doesn't respond the way I want them to respond. So I was getting feedback from the customers. And the reason why I eventually made it work, why I got much, much better at presenting, at selling, at closing people, is because I took massive action, and I went on a lot of sales presentations, did a lot of calls, did a lot of prospecting. It's the only way to get through. It's the only way. Like, there's no shortcut that immediately makes you, like, close 80% of people right out of the gate. That doesn't happen. You need to get the reps in. There's no other way. So more reps makes you better. More swings at the ball gives you more opportunity. And I can guarantee you, when you hit that ball, the feeling is amazing.